Hello, and welcome to episode 61 of Things I've Learned from Barry Harris. In keeping with the theme of creating lines using scales, I thought we would stay with D7, which is what we were working on for episode 60. And let's talk about a couple other things that we're supposed to know on the scale. One of the things that Barry likes you to practice is chords up. So chords up simply means start on a note, and we're going to start on a note, skip a note, play the next note, skip the next note, play the next note, skip the next note, play the next note. So it's a 4-note scale. It's a 4-note chord. So we're going to take that up the scale. And down. So now, what would be a nice thing to do with this is, and sometimes you hear players do this, is I'm going to start on the A, the fifth below, just to do this exercise. And what it's going to be is, you're going up a chord, then you're going to go down a scale note, and then come up another chord. So it's going to be this. Okay, so let's practice that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Where was I? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty already. Sometimes you can make the first chord into like a triplet. So you would play 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, oh wait. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and. That's pretty. Now sometimes what Barry has you do is he says put a half step below the first note of the chord. So if we practice that, it would be let's try on just starting from the D. Half step below the first note. And then we'll do coming down. We'll say half step below the first note coming down. So now, maybe what we could do is we'll do the one that we did before, which is the triplet. Start with the triplet, and then go down a half step and come up the chord. Except this time, before we come up the second chord, let's put a half step below the first note of the second chord. So we'll say, so what would the second one be? That's a nice one. The third one, let's see. That's a really pretty one. Nice, really pretty. Let's do the one from the root. Do the one from the second. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a pretty one. Really beautiful. Okay, let's do the one from the third. Do the one from the fourth. And do the one from the fifth again. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, if we're going to add something else, let's add one more thing to it. Let's put Barry's chromatic scale rules, so his half-step rules, descending, and we'll put 2 half-steps. His rules are this: if we're going to go up descending on the D7 scale, we'll start on the third, and we're going to do third down, so the third down to the tonic. So it would be this, So that's his chromatic scale. Now, when we start on the fourth, we do not have a half step between 4 and 3. So we have to create one. So he does it by going to the next higher scale tone, so which would be 5. So the first one from 3 to 1 would be this. From 4 to 2 would be, and now from 5 to 3 would be this. See, we keep using that 5 in between 4 and 3 every time. Now, that's easy. That's just a chromatic. There's that same idea of using that scale tone above, and then this one, and the last one. So now let's try to. We'll do 2 chords up again. The first one being a triplet, the second one being a half step below, and then when we get to the highest note, we're going to come down a third, but with Barry's chromatic scale. So we'll say, oh man. Do the second one starting from the B. So say, that's a nice one again. Do the one from the C. That's a nice one. Oh wait. Do the one from the D. Do the one from the E. That's a really pretty one. Wow. Let's do the one from the third. And then we'll do the one from the fourth. That's it too. And then you're back to the first one again. So it's just to show you, if you start to put some of these things together to create your own phrases, it's really something. And you'll come up with things that nobody else has come up with. And then you make those things your stock riffs. So we've been really primarily focused on just staying on one chord, like stagnant on a D7 or A minor to D7. We haven't even really resolved anything yet. But I think it's important to practice just pretty things to play on just one chord. And then we'll eventually get to connecting it to another chord, which is what Barry talks about when he discusses playing movement. So anyway, hope you enjoyed episode 61, however brief it might be. And see you next time. Enjoy practicing.